Hi, I'm John Byrne with Poets&Quants, and I have with me today Cheri DeClercq. Welcome.
Thank you.
Cheri is Assistant Dean for MBA programs at Michigan State University's Broad College of Business. So what's it like if you accept me as a student and I show up on your campus?
You're going to have a great experience, first of all.
Good.
You'll find when you come to our campus that we have a very welcoming culture, that the students that have been there before you are happy to help you succeed and very much welcoming you into a very collaborative environment. That being said, you're also going to find that there's a tremendous set of opportunities at our campus because it's a phenomenal place with huge opportunities across the campus.
So you start in August, and there's a one-week orientation, right?
There is. And I would say that most of our students have probably been to campus prior to that time for some kind of an experience while they're making the decision. And they would have had many touch points with our staff along the way. So when you show up to campus, you already feel like you know a bit of what the experience will be like. But when you do get there, you'll have a week-long orientation, potentially a couple of days sooner than that, ahead of that if you're an international student. And it really gets you set up with understanding your team, knowing what to expect on campus, and getting yourself acclimated.
And then you have a modular structure to your MBA program where you have one module, an immersion, another module, and that essentially makes up the old semester format, right?
Well, in a sense it does, right? It gives them 4 different touch points throughout the year.
Right.
So they come in and they do the first module of classes, which takes about half of the semester. There's a little mini break where we do what we call Broad Weeks. And then there's the second week, and then they have their semester or the holiday break in December.
And what are the immersions devoted to?
Well, the Broad Weeks are very much, the goal of those is twofold. One is to provide opportunities for students to really experience their education firsthand. So to dig in, to work with real problems and with real companies and put into practice the things that they've been learning in the curriculum. The other thing that's across the Broad Weeks is a very strong focus on creativity and innovation. And so that's something that we know business is looking for and they're not often able to find. And so we've made sure that we're working closely with our faculty to weave in opportunities for students to look at problems in a different way, to do creative problem solving, and to think about solutions that perhaps other people haven't found. And so that critical thinking in a different way is important for those weeks.
And some of the immersions involve partnerships with companies, right?
Right, so there's actually 4 different weeks that students experience over the course of their program. And they involve innovation, they involve entrepreneurship, they involve leadership. And along the way, we've partnered specifically with companies, Procter & Gamble, for example, being one of them. General Motors was a partner with us last year as well. And that gives our students an opportunity not only to go, in some cases, to those sites, to be on site at organizations, in other ways, the companies come to us and spend the time really devoted to making sure our students understand how they do, for example, leadership at Procter & Gamble and what that entails.
Right.
At the same time, they're working on real problems, and so it's an ability to really apply the learning that they're having in a real world way.
Right. And like most schools, you have the core, which basically fulfills the first year, and you have a little leeway for electives in your first year. And then your second year is mainly devoted to electives in your concentration, I would imagine, right?
Right. Yeah, like you said, some flexibility around that, but generally we want to make sure that the students have that very solid foundation in the core business principles that we know that they all need. And then the electives allow them to move into both their concentration classes and then some electives that can be cross-functional so that they can be more broadly knowledgeable.
And Michigan State is known for supply chain management.
Yeah.
And I believe that's your number 1 concentration, right?
Yes, that's exactly right.
So tell me why.
Well, we've been a leader in supply chain management since the field began. We really were a part of the start of that. And I think that the reason that happens is because our faculty, first of all, are excellent researchers. They're spending a lot of time out in industry, and so they really understand both theoretically and also experientially what that means. The other thing is that our program is it's a very holistic approach to supply chain. So it's not just purchasing, it's not just logistics, it's really the end-to-end understanding how the field is impacted by what's going on. And with our global evolving marketplace, those things just become more and more critical.
And outcomes? What kind of companies recruit on campus?
So we have great companies on campus, and I'll list a few, although obviously many more than that. Big names that many people have heard of, like Apple, like Intel, like Amazon, certainly automotive industry because they're here in our area, but it's much broader than that. And so we've got companies that are coming in from across the region to really seek out our students because of the expertise that they bring, because of the hard work ethic, and because of their ability to add value on day one.
Do you have fun in East Lansing?
It's tremendous fun in East Lansing. One of the things that we've been really excited in the last several years is with our sports teams. So certainly our football program and our basketball program have both been doing very, very well. And so that's just a fun kind of extracurricular. But aside from that, there's so many things for students to get involved in. And whether that's the huge international population that's there in East Lansing, whether that's the social activities, there's arts, there's just a variety of the new Broad Museum with its contemporary art. So really, even if you're not a sports fan, there's something for everyone and lots of ways for you to stand out.
Okay, best advice that you could give to an applicant who wants to come?
Well, I would say we really want you to be authentic. The program itself is very collaborative, very team-based, very much wants to help our students to be successful and to succeed. Students that come into our program are always smart, they're always hardworking, they're always highly motivated, and yet they're not cutthroat. And so I think the person that should come in is the kind of person that fits into that idea. At the same time, there's lots of opportunities for students to create their own path. So it isn't like you have to be a certain specific ideal type to be a part of our campus and our culture. And I think that that's really valuable too, because students are able to create their own true self and be the best they can be, chart their path.
Terrific. Cheri, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm John Byrne with Poets&Quants. Thanks for watching.